the other, and that makes both of what he's carrying very heavy. So once again, he's complaining. Can't really blame him because he's in a lot of pain right now, hasn't eaten, he's really tired, dehydrated. I'm ready to die about this point. I was so scared. I'm relieved to have adrenaline pumping through me, but that isn't really doing much because I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm dehydrated. I'm pretty much exactly like Ian at this point, except I don't have a giant load to carry. We get to the check-in, check our bags on. Turns out we're in the wrong place. Can't check our bags on there. So we go to the other side, and about halfway of going to the other side of the Denver airport, which is the biggest airport in the world, by the way, 10 miles long, 7 miles wide. Yeah, you don't want to go there. It's not fun at all.
It's hell.
If there was ever
Hell
on earth, it's the Denver airport. Don't do it. So about halfway across the crosswalk at the Denver airport, Ian and I are slugging down. My dad's walking faster than us. He's going ahead of us with his herpes waffle running through his system. And Ian and I, completely herpes clear, but also very hungry, are dragging behind. We can't keep up. We can't do it. My dad gets to the other side. He comes back walking towards us and he says, we're checking our bags on in the wrong place again. So we have to walk back the other way around, still really tired, and I muster up the strength to trade bags with Ian because I know he's in a lot of pain. So I take his bag, I say, how hard can it be? It is very difficult. Every single article of clothing he owned at the moment was in that bag. Very heavy bag, heavier than the bag with the Xbox in it. It was very heavy. I thought it would be light, but it's not. I was having a worse time than Ian. I was dragging far behind, far behind. And I was tired too. I was tired, I was thirsty, hungry, thirsty more than anything. I was so dehydrated. My lips were dry, my mouth was dry, I wasn't making saliva, I was not salivating as the scientists would call it. My skin was completely dry. It doesn't matter how hard I worked out or how hard I pushed my body, I would not sweat. It wouldn't happen. And so was Ian, I'm sure. We had not had anything to drink since 8 o'clock that other night, and it's been about 12 hours since we've had any fluids in our system whatsoever. And
we get to the TSA.
This is the largest airport in the world. TSA is going to be awful. The worst in the world, because it's the largest. And I went in knowing that. And I came out knowing that, because it was awful. Me being me, once again, I forget to take my large electronics outside of my bag, like the lady at the last airport told me to. And this caused us a lot of time. Ian took his laptop outside of his bag. I took my laptop outside of my bag, but it left the Xbox inside the bag. This lady, she pulls it out, gets me, she pulls me over to the side, she gets my bag, and she says,
okay, this your bag?
Yes.
Okay, what's this?
It's an Xbox.
Okay, we're gonna have to scan it.
Scan it for what? Explosive material. What? Explosive material.
Okay, we're gonna have to see if this Xbox, as you call it, never heard of that, is explosive.
And then Ian's whispering under his breath as well as possible.
What do you need to scan it for? You know it's an Xbox. It's not a bomb, I swear. Please just let us get on our plane.
And the lady overheard this and she said,
I know it's not a bomb, I just need to check and see if it's really a bomb.
What she really said was, I know it's not a bomb, I just need to check it. Which makes about as much sense as the last thing I said. So she gives it to the guy who's supposed to be checking it, and the guy's just sitting there. He's looking at the scan of the Xbox, and then he looks back at the Xbox. He looks back at the scan, he looks back at the Xbox. He looks back at the scan, he looks back at the Xbox. And this goes on for about 6 minutes. And the lady's just sitting there staring at us like we've done some heinous crime. She hasn't even reminded me of the fact that I need to take all the electronics out of the bag first. She's just sitting there expecting me to know this. Because we were in a small town airport before. The TSA was small, the airport was small, everyone's going to be friendly there. But this was the biggest airport in the world. So if you work for the TSA, you have to be a jerk. No exceptions. You have to be a absolutely horrible person that does not care about anyone to work at the TSA in Denver because it's so huge. And that is what this woman was. The guy's still just sitting there, computer, scan, and it wasn't the scan of the Xbox either. It was the scan of the bag that the Xbox was in. Xbox scan, Xbox, Xbox scan, Xbox. And he was just looking at it back and forth, not even checking it for anything, not even scanning it. And the lady was just staring at us. And then she got Ian's Xbox out of the bag. And he actually scanned the Xbox separate from the bag. And she says we have to scan that too. And then she takes my laptop. And then she takes Ian's laptop. And then she takes my dad's laptop, and the guy's looking at the scans of all of them on all the computers, and he's not doing it fast either. He's like, and this guy's obviously overwhelmed because you can tell he's sluggish before, but now he's like a snail on steroids. I mean, he's kind of slow, but he's fast at the same time. It's kind of disconcerting. You kind of feel bad for him, but you know he's a horrible person, so you're just sitting there like squinting at him, like really cringing, like you just can't help but being mad at him because he's not doing his job right. And then my dad says, like, he pulls the lady aside and he says,
Please, could you scan the bags? Could you seem like you know what you're doing? This man isn't doing anything. Could you please scan our bags? Our plane takes off in 6 minutes. It's at the other side of the airport. Please, could you please hurry up so we can get all of our stuff back and just go?
And the lady says, looks him straight in the eye.
That's not my problem.
And the next sentence she says, there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. Repeats herself.
That's not my problem.
You want to know about my problems?
We don't. We didn't ask her.
You want to know about my problems? I have a 7-month-old at home, and he's sick, and I have to work here, an extra shift. You know, I'm not getting paid today. It's Saturday.
What was wrong with that sentence was, it is her problem. She is getting paid for us being late for our plane to be her problem. 2, she really did say 7-month-old. And 3, we don't want to know about your problems. It's not our job to know about your problems. It's your job to help us with ours. She just goes back to staring at us, and what my dad does is very illegal.
He crosses the line at the TSA, and then he takes our bags. He takes our stuff. He takes our electronics, and he takes them all back from the guy.
And the lady stops him and like pulls him over and like takes all the stuff away and then puts it back and then pushes him back out of the way, puts him back exactly where he was, and then starts staring at us again. No words exchanged. And then about 30 seconds later, you know, the lady says, okay, this guy is crazy, but he's obviously not a terrorist, so let's just give him his stuff back. She did. We missed our flight. So we have to walk to the other side of the airport, right next to the TSA, to get more plane tickets because we missed our flight. We get plane tickets, and then we go over to the other side of the airport again. Me still carrying Ian's bag, we switch occasionally, and we get to our plane. And we go to Starbucks, Ian gets a hot chocolate, I get a chocolate mocha, and my dad gets a coffee. And we sit down in a place. And eventually we figure out that we're sitting in the wrong gate. So we move, we have enough time. So we get food. I get a lot more food than everybody else because I'm starving. We sit down in our place, and throughout the time we were there was this message playing about every 5 minutes that said, all unattended luggage will be taken within 5 minutes of it being found on the ground. And that played about every 5 minutes. I didn't really think anything of it. Eventually, when a message played on, in place of the message that would usually play, and it said, there was a large pile of luggage next to so-and-so wherever we got our food from. And they kind of described a little bit of the luggage, and I realized that I didn't have any of our luggage. As soon as I was running over to the lady to get it, she was wheeling it away, and I said, wait, that's my luggage. And she says,
how do I know it's yours?
I'm really mad, and I say, it's my luggage, and just take it, because I am tired. I am tired of this. I just want to go home. You know, eventually you just start hating wherever you are. I mean, if you're kept prisoner there, you just don't like it anymore. So, as a result, I'm not really a big fan of Colorado at this point because, I mean, it's a beautiful place, but I'm being kept hostage in it. It won't let me leave. I take my bags away from her, say, this is my luggage. This is my and my friend's luggage. I'm taking it. And she doesn't really put up much of a big of a fight there because, you know, doesn't have a taser, doesn't have a baton, doesn't have handcuffs, you know, she can't do anything. She's like,
okay, well, okay, I guess it's yours.
So I take it over, we hit in our plane, and we get on the plane. And nothing else goes wrong. But no, and doesn't contradict anything. And there was the nicest man on the plane. His name was Cookie, and he was such a nice guy. Me and Ian sitting next to each other, first class, having a wonderful time. Finally, and Ian and I are just like praying, like bent over in our seats, like,
plane won't crash. Please don't let the plane crash. Don't let the plane crash. Come on. No plane crashes. No plane crashes.
because, you know, And thankfully the plane didn't crash. So, yay. But Cookie comes over to us and he's like, can I get y'all anything? Okay, well, we would like the breakfast, please. He says, okay, I'll be right back with that. And he gives us the breakfast, and it is some of the best food I've had in a long time. Forget the sandwich I had earlier from the other place. This food was great, and it was airline food, so that's pretty good for airline food. You know, the best food I've ever eaten in a long time came from an airline, mostly because I was hungry. And it was given to me by one of the nicest men I'd met in a long time. He was such a nice person. Such a nice person. And the thing that really got me was he didn't have to be. He didn't have to be so nice. After so long, this is 2 straight days of traveling, or trying to travel, after 2 straight days of being treated like a second-class citizen or a second-class human, we were actually given some attention and kindness by this man. But he didn't have to. He could have just been like every single other person we ran into and be dumb and annoying and just not care for us at all. But no. He really did. He cared. And that's what really got me. That's what made me happy. I would just like to take a moment to say thank you to Cookie. If he watches this video, I would like to say thank you. Because you were such a nice person, and I appreciate that so much. We touched down in Memphis, Tennessee, from Colorado. We got in our car, and, you know, since we're down home back in the South, yay, and we got home without a hitch. And that is the story of the 2 worst days of my life. Yay. And that is the end of this video, y'all. So check on that channel box for other videos that I've done, and please subscribe. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. And, you know, it's time for the old-fashioned T-Lewi sign-off. Good night, everybody.